Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Insight Show. This is your host, Shreyas, and we are back with an amazing alumni from IIT Roper. He comes from the 2013 batch, Mechanical Engineering, and has completed his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He is currently an independent consultant, and his latest project was with BCG, the Boston Consulting Group. He has worked in a diverse set of industries, namely the banking and financial sector, with a few government bodies and multinational automobile majors, to name a few. Let us go inside his daily life and understand about his work. Help me in welcoming Mr. Sidhant Srivastava. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, Shreyas. I'm good. I'll prefer if you just call me by my name. That's fine. And Mr. Sidhant Srivastava sounds like I'm like 50 years old. So yeah, you can just call me by my name. Yeah.
Okay. That is great, Sidhant. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me, first of all. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So let me address the elephant in the room first. Like, due to the corona pandemic, all the industries have taken a major hit. What is something all us juniors should keep in mind regarding our careers?
So Shreyas, the question is a really diabolical nature question, like because everyone all across the world, every age has this question in their mind that what will happen after the due to the COVID outbreak? Will they lose their jobs? Will they ever be able to get employed? Will they lose their family? So the current situation, there are thousands and thousands of reports out in the market by various consulting firms, by various other bodies which are trying to predict what exactly would be the outcome. But from my point of view, I would like to say one thing that first of all, it's a macroscopic issue, which is not just in India but all across the world. Okay, and no one in particular, like especially the students or the 20-24-year-olds, they don't need to worry about it in particular. Why I'm saying that? Because the whole world will deal with it together, and this is like the first time in human history, at least in a long time, that something like this has happened. Okay, the closest to this was probably the World War, but after that, in that also there were winners and losers. After that, since everyone is facing it all together, so on a personal level, I don't think anyone needs to stress about it a lot. Coming to the how this will shape your personality, okay, because you people right now are in the best phase of your life. By best phase, I mean you're in the peak of your life where the learnings you will get right now would help you throughout your life. Okay, so due to this, whatever this pandemic and whatever the situation will rise, at a very young age, you'll be able to hone better to dealing with problems, dealing with disasters. So your personality will actually shape a lot better, and this will help you all throughout your life in the coming 40 years. Okay. So the more problems you face earlier, the better your life trajectory becomes. There have been a number of books on this. And I think it might turn out to be a blessing in disguise for you. Right now, you guys might feel that why is this happening to us? But 5 years down the line, you'll realize that this is what was the best thing which happened to you. Okay. So I'm coming from something which is somewhat personal to me. Okay. So what had happened, as you have correctly pointed out, I'm IT robot mechanical engineer. So after my third year, I was interning with an NGO. Okay. So I was in a village in Rajasthan. I was conducting road shows, and I was staying on the roof of a cattle shed. And it was late in the evening, and I was walking on the roof. I was texting someone. The boundary of the roof was low. Okay. What happened was that I tripped off the building. Okay. And there were two bricks lying on the ground. And my head hit the right side of my head hit against the bricks. And it was Rajasthan. I was immediately rushed to AIMS in ambulance, but the ambulance didn't have an oxygen cylinder. Okay. So my brain underwent a cerebral stroke. Okay. And if I would have been about 5-10 minutes late to the hospital, I wouldn't have survived.
That is crazy.
Underwent two, yeah. So yeah. So I underwent two brain surgeries. Right then, my right side underwent partial paralysis because of the stroke. And after 3 months, I underwent my third surgery and all that. And At that point of time, no one even knew whether I'll ever even get up from the bed. Okay, I was 21. No one even knew whether I'll even get up from the bed because I was paralyzed. No one, I couldn't even speak. I was on a ventilator, so I was real true. So I couldn't even. So there was probably it was like one of the biggest debacles which someone can face in their life. And this happened at the age of 21. At the age of 24, I made it through I'm Hindwad. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is what happened in those 3 years was I was able to, like, there's a child Charlie theory, survival of the fittest. So once you face such situations, what happens is, like, beat the COVID situation where you might face some obstacles while getting jobs, or beat something which I faced. What happens is that your human beings become much more immune and much more stronger because of that. Okay, and during these times is what you actually realize is your true connections as well. So people like, I'm sure Harpreet sir is still on campus, right?
Yes, yes, he is.
Harpreet Singh sir, he was a great help for me. He was the one because of whom I was able to complete my degree in just 3 years extra time, 3 months extra time actually. Like I had to skip one semester, and then I, because of medical reasons. So what I'm saying is, because of you get to meet really good people, you get to network with really good people, and the best part about it is it makes you a lot more stronger for anything else in your life later on. So right now, why am I so confident about the COVID situation? Why I'm not tense or panicked? That situation at the age of 21 had a really big role to play with me in that case scenario. A very similar thing might happen to some of you, where you might feel that you're being stuck, or why is this happening to you, and you are like in misery and all that. But later down the line, you'll realize in life that it will make you a lot more stronger for other things which are coming through. So, coming back to your question, I don't think that right now, because it's a very macroscopic issue, it's like a worldwide issue. So I don't think right now students need to stress about it in particular, or actually need to think, need to, like, let's say, mostly stress about it. Like, you don't need to stress about it right now, because right now the situation all across the world is in a flux. Okay, so no one can predict what will happen next, but whatever happens will happen for the good of you guys, that's for sure, because you'll be able to survive something like this at a very early stage. So it will shape you a lot better.
Yes, 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 definitely. And also your story about the near-death experience and having it at such a young age is just crazy, and I'm sure all of us can learn from it. It is very motivating that you bounced back in such an amazing manner. But yes, the question I'd like to ask is, after this, after your accident and then you completed your graduation, how did doing an MBA come into being, and how did you enter the stages of your career exactly?
Actually, that's a good question, Shreyas. You know what? As I said, because of the medical break, I graduated a semester late. Okay, and because of which I didn't sit for on-campus placements or anything. And you can't even guess what I did after that. After that, I worked as a sub-editor with a fashion magazine for about 3-4 months. I did a couple of other stints, short stints. So, and post that, I joined another consulting firm, which was ES Associates at that point of time, where I worked. So, what I'm saying is, consulting in general is like, let's say, everyone in India, like, let's say, because of the our everyone who comes from a similar backdrop, they end up doing engineering. That's like a default choice for India. Okay, and let's not contest why I got into engineering, why I didn't get into engineering, because that is like that's like mostly the default choice. Coming to the MBA part of it was, so actually, ironically, in my final semester, I even had an international paper published in mechanical engineering. Like, it was on deformation of aluminum steel alloys. But at that point of time, I had to make a call whether I want to go uh, more into the engineering field and I want to specialize into it, which is also a great practice. A really close friend of mine, from my batch itself, he ended up going for MS to the US. Now he's working in New York on a full-time basis, and he was a mechanical engineer. So that was his field which he stuck to. Okay. Me, on the other hand, I somehow felt that my personality type is more attuned to something which is closer to management. Okay, which this is something which you'll be able to figure out yourself. So this is more of a personal call. Don't do anything because others are doing it. Never ever do anything because others are doing it. This is one philosophy. Always, because at the end of it, you will end up regretting why did you take it up, because you won't have any reason to do that. So even right now, don't do an MBA because everyone else had done it, or because others are doing it, or because people are earning a lot after doing it. Only do it if you have a concrete reason, because at this stage in life you can make that call. At the age of 17, 18, when your parents are deciding for you to get into anything, at that point you can't. This stage in life you can make the call whether you want to do it or not. Now only do it if you actually feel that your personality is a better fit for a role as in a management field or role in the business field. Otherwise, if you think you're better fit for research, or if you love doing research and other things, or if you're in probably computer science, if you think you love coding. So my roommate, he was from CS, okay, and he ended up joining Google, Microsoft from campus. Later on, he joined Google, and now he's in the US with Google, and he's working as in their coding team. So my point here being that you need to. He didn't even think about MBA. Okay, so you need to figure out what you like. He was really good at coding, and he stuck to it. Okay, if you're really good, like the other guy who really liked mechanical, he stuck to it. I thought that I might be a good fit for management, so I chose that. So you always need to choose what you yourself feel is a great field for you, or a great fit for you, instead of what everyone else is doing, what people have already done, or what your parents are saying you should do. It should always be about you and just you. That is the only way you'll be able to survive that decision later on.
Okay, okay, that is excellent. So let us come back to your work. Like, what is exactly that you do as an independent consultant, and what have your latest
So,
projects been about?
so Shreyas, so before an independent consultant, I was working with another consulting firm which I joined from campus. I worked with them for about 12 to 15 months. Okay, around 15 months or so. Post that, I've been doing independent consulting, where I've been working with startups, SMEs, as well as other consulting firms. Okay, so when I say what do I bring to the table, because of my quant backdrop, like from engineering, plus the fact that I've been into consulting for a long time, and also because I actually worked for 2 months with Mondelez Cadbury, so I have a bit of a marketing backdrop as well. Okay, so it's an all in all, call it a holistic bundle. But in general, what I pitch to the clients, or what I bring to the table, is mostly the quantitative knowledge as well as the insight driven part, which comes from the fact that I have gone through a lot of other companies as well as with the good B school. Okay, coming to my latest project. So my latest project was with BCG, where I was working with their, and where the so I was in Bangalore, and the end client was a TMT major. Okay, so I was working with the BCG like consultants and the women skill team as an external subject matter specialist and things like those. So it was mostly around the fact that how we could increase revenue, how we could decrease cost. That is like the basic gist of it. But the project, all in all, was quite uh, self-accompanying, because it had covered a lot of aspects. And if you're talking to, let's say, if you're handing a, the intrinsic fulfillment is, do you feel fulfilled when you do something? Do you like it doing it? Okay. And when I see that what I'm doing is affecting over 1.5 million people working in the firm, okay, my analysis, I even work over a weekend, or I even work all night long when I know that the impact is so big. So that is the intrinsic component. A very similar thing happened with me in Mondelez. Okay, so I actually interned with Mondelez, where I was shadowing the brand manager of Cadbury Silk. Okay, so let's say I was designing a poster which would go all across the country in, like, let's say all the cities, all the towns. The line that would go there was decided by me. Okay, so I was working with creative agencies like, oh, so you can imagine the scale. So this kind of, let's say, intrinsic, or let's say the fulfillment which you get out of work. Okay, when you feel that what you're doing makes an impact. That impact could be anywhere. It could be a social impact. It could be a economic impact. It could be any sort of impact. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that the work I'm doing has so some another project I did before the BCG one got featured by the Economic Times. So I worked with a ex McKinsey veteran. So she was a partner with McKinsey till 2010. Post which she is now heading her own startup. Okay, in the space of flexible talent platforms. So I worked closely with her, and the work which we did, it went viral, and in fact it got covered by one of quite a number of leading dailies and all. So all in all, if you do good work and if you continue to do good work, anything, if you feel you're doing good work, forget about if your boss feels you're doing good work. That doesn't matter, because he's just another person. Your boss, your senior, your parents. Okay, though if you feel that what you're doing is good, if you yourself are able to justify that to yourself that what I'm doing is good work, that is the only thing which matters. And whatever you do it so well that no one is ever able to question how did this come forward. So don't skip corners, because people, especially in today's world, with the kind of brain power everyone has, are able to spot that very quickly. So don't try to skip corners. And coming back to your question, all in all, the work is turning out to be quite, let's say, enriching as well as a great learning experience, so to say. So yeah.
Can we discuss about the LinkedIn branding that you've been doing? Like, you're an influencer right now, almost an influencer on LinkedIn with over 4.5 thousand followers. And can you explain to us like how important LinkedIn is for our connections into the
Hmm.
industry, and how we can, how we really need to understand and use LinkedIn?
That's a good question, Shreyas. So I'll tell you something about it. LinkedIn, I became really active on LinkedIn once I did started my independent consulting thing. Okay, because so I'll tell you what I told you, right, that I worked with Mondays as well. So there are two kinds of marketing. One is push marketing. One is pull marketing. What is push marketing? Push marketing is, let's say you walk into a supermarket and a guy walks up to you and says, "Sir, please try this product. Please try this product." He's pushing the product onto you. The other form is pull marketing. Pull marketing is a company advertising about its brands so that you look at it and you come to it. Okay. LinkedIn, and all in all, pull marketing has a much greater pull because the person is himself coming to you. Okay. Person or anyone, that person is himself coming to you. You're not going to them that please give me work or please buy our product. They are coming to you. So that is a lot more longevity. That's a lot more lifetime value. So what I'm coming to is, like, LinkedIn as a platform in today's world is equivalent to a TV commercial for a soap brand. Okay, why I'm saying that? Because anyone who is working and everyone who's working is on LinkedIn. Okay, that is the one thing. Second thing is, majority of the people who actually end up, so let's say majority of the work comes via HR or via recruiters, via headhunters. I worked with a firm which had a world's largest executive search body as well. Okay, so these guys all day long from morning to evening, what they're doing is they're on LinkedIn. Okay, they have LinkedIn premium accounts to spot talent. So right now, spotting talent doesn't require to stand in a queue at an interview. They are able to spot talent sitting at home. So LinkedIn at a place, LinkedIn is at a stage where you can right now sell your brand really well. And because of the another great fact about LinkedIn is, if you post something and someone engages with the post, like let's say if you post something, someone likes it, everyone, so the viral marketing, okay, so let's say if he likes it, everyone in his network will be able to see that he has liked it. So it's like a, let's say, viral marketing campaign, or like a pyramid scheme, not exactly pyramid scheme, but more like a viral marketing, where organic marketing is the best. LinkedIn is the best medium for organic marketing, because it's like if you are posting good content, or if you have a good profile, it's not even just about posting. You don't need to post, but just stay active on LinkedIn. Let's say someone posts something, so if I give you some quick tips to your listeners, uh, keep your LinkedIn profile up to date, keep it really, uh, in every sense, whatever you're doing and whatever your passions are, have it intricately detailed. Also try to stay active there. By active, I don't mean you need to post or you need to write something. By active, you mean that just engage with content. Like if someone has posted something good, engage with it, like it, or like comment on it. This is, if you feel it is good. Okay, this will help you in two ways. First, you'll be able to learn a lot more. Like rather than sitting on Instagram or Facebook all day long, this will be able to, because people post really good content on LinkedIn. So this will increase your knowledge a lot in the business aspect. The other thing it will do is that it will increase your visibility. It will increase your visibility in the sense that, as I told you, like the recruiters are, LinkedIn is their primary go-to place. Okay. So it will increase your visibility in some sense, and that is why I'm asking you to keep your profile up to date and keep your profile, uh, the best sell forward. Because if they come to your profile, then it should be the best sell. You should be able to pull, your profile should be able to pull them towards you. That's the concept of marketing, right? So that's why LinkedIn is a great place to be right now. Yeah.
Okay, so you also have a website giving MBA insights into dating, which I find very unique for anyone who is doing this. So, how did this exactly come into being?
That's a good question, Chef. Actually, what happened was, I told you in 2012 my accident happened. Post that, so I started writing post that actually. So I started my blog. I started a blog post that, because like during the because I was on in the hospital for some time. After that, I was in the bed on the bed for some time. I got some time to introspect, and I was like, "Ki-" so what it did was that I wanted to leave something behind to the world, leave some impact in the world. Okay. So, in fact, a question Mangalore was asked. So, in the Mangalore interview, they asked me, "Where do you see yourself 10 years down the line?" Okay. So, I said, I mean, I was being totally honest. Okay. Like, trust me, all my life I've been totally honest with anyone, or I've been totally upfront. That has helped me, and that is something which I'll recommend to all your listeners as well. Like, don't try to act conniving, or don't try to, because if you try to act smart, that might help you in the short run, but that's a very short run game. That won't benefit you in the long run. All my life I've been honest, I've been to the face. It has hurt me sometimes in the short run, but in the long run, it has benefited me immensely. Coming back to I'm a Bangalore question. So they asked me, where do you see yourself 10 years online? So, 10 or 20, I don't know. It was 20, I guess. So, because they wanted to know which charge I was saying. So I was like, so my answer was quite naive. I was like, I don't know whether I'll be living in a penthouse in some metro city, or I'll be living under highway. But all I want is, when people type the first letters of my name on Google, my full name is the first suggestion that comes up, and not in a Osama bin Laden kind of way, but in a good way. Okay, so I figured out my drive. So actually, they laughed it off by saying, they didn't laugh it off, but it was a good moment, because they said you could buy out space on Google Ads and all that. But anyway, I'll come back to your question about the website. Okay, so this is actually more important, because this is something which will help all your listeners a lot. So any person, you can divide him into four quadrants. Okay, it's on the top two quadrants are his experiences and his competencies. Like what he has done, what he was doing, and what his competency. Is he good at math? Is he good at people skills? Is he good at what exactly is he good at? Is he good at numbers? Is he good at history, what is he good at. Okay, that these are two. These are easy to see. These you can see on paper. These it is the bottom two, which are below the water, are what are his drivers and what are his innate traits. By innate traits, I mean, is he risk taking? Is he risk averse? Is he good at stakeholder management? Does he like? Is he an introvert? Is he an extrovert? These are the traits. Drivers are, so there are possibly 3 to 4 major drivers which are there. Um, Money, power, recognition, and creating value. Okay, so money. So let's say people who are driven by money. Okay, I'll just take a simple example. People who go for investment banking, they're really good with numbers. But investment banking as a job, it's not like you sit in front of computer all day long, right? So it's not like that you are really happy doing it. Why is it such a sought after person? Or people who go for coding, why is it such a sought after thing to code? Okay, the reason is the money. The money involved in these, after engineering a coding job or after MBA investment banking job, these are the highest paying jobs. Okay, so here the primary driver is money. Coming to power, I have seen my batchmates from IIT and even post IIM who have gone for UPSC entrance, okay, for civil services. They had everything in the world. Like they were in the best college. They graduated from the best college. Like a batchmate of mine from IIM, he was working with Bain. He quit it and he for UPSC preparation. Why? So these people, their prime. So what it gives you is a lucrative IAS or a IPS job. So what does that profile bring along with it? It brings immense power. You have your own house. You have 10 people saying yes or yes. So that is the part. So these people, they are driven by power. Okay, which is also a good thing. The third thing is recognition. Recognition is, let's say, a lot every day, not right now, but every day, thousands and thousands of people move to Bombay to become the next Priyanka Chopra or next whatever Aishwarya. Okay, why does that happen? Like even like girls from really rich families in Delhi, they'll move to Bombay. Why would they do that? They already have enough money. They already have all the luxuries in life. Why do they want to do that? These people are driven by recognition. Okay, so these are the 3 primary drivers. Fourth is value, which happens at a later stage. By, let's say, why would a Jack Ma still work when he has everything? He's working for the creation of value. Or let's say, why does a Bill Gates still work? So he's working for the creation of value, for leaving things behind. Okay, coming back to me, initially the thought behind starting this website was firstly prompted from the accents, and also because, as you know, in IT we have one thing which is there for sure all year long is unlimited internet download speed. Okay, so yeah, so I ended up downloading a lot of I mean, I would have watched every TV series from Entourage to How I Met Your Mother to Friends to even a Gossip Girl or to even a 90210. Okay, and I spend a lot of time watching them. Do I regret that? Partially, I don't think so. Partially because I think I could have used it doing better things. So you should actually also use that time using doing better things. Coming back to the reason, so in these, via by spending so much time watching such rom-coms, such TV series, such movies, I got a feeling that I'm driven by recognition. Okay, that was the initial starting of the blog or the website. Its initial name wasn't on the lines of MBA Insights. Okay, that came in much later. That was just to sell the IMA brand name. So that was like just more of a sell for the IMA brand name. I started writing about 7 years back. Okay, so that was the primary driver to it, and then later on, it it went through various versions of iterations, and then that's like right now it's on the final. It's MBA Insights is what I'm trying to draw into it because I'm able to sell my USP of the IMM or brand name, to be very honest with you. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that is great. So, can we just now talk about the life at IIT versus all the life at IIM, and how different is it from the outside world?
Sure, sure. So, cheers. The thing is, I spent 4 years at IIT. I spent 2 years at Ahmedabad. I spent like a number of years in the outside world, in the corporate world. But if you still like, I don't know, this is like a quite a generic statement which we will make that college days was the best time of my life. But I'll give you a more, let's say, concise answer or a more objective answer. Out of IIT and Ahmedabad, I would any day pick my days in IIT. Okay. IIT Roped college days, if you ask me, my college days were during undergrad. Okay. And even during undergrad, the reason for it was we had a, so during MBA, you don't have time at all. It's like everyone is in a rat. Everyone has come for a reason. Okay. People have come either for a better salary or for a change of profile or something else. So the environment is highly competitive, but it's not competitive in a sense, but it's highly, let's say, there's a lot of work involved and there's a lot of, let's say, stress involved as well. During IT, as you yourself would know now, that the time you have is a lot more. The time to relax, the time to chill, the time to talk to friends, the time to fool around is a lot more. And these are the years, like let's say 18, 19, these are the shaping years of the life. Okay. And during these times, if you have happy memories, that makes a big impact. So I any day if I'll have to pick, I'll pick my IT days because it was like really good fun. I made really good friends. We had a lot of fun, and so because of the time, I was able to explore myself better. I was able to understand. It was my first time out of my home, right? So because till 12th, everyone is staying with their parents. So it was a really good experience all in all. Different phases. I mean, what is also really was also really learning phase in a different aspect. But the most cheerful memories, if you say, I would still say the most cheerful memories were during my undergrad days. Learning wise, let's say intrinsic learning, which is like personality building learning types. I would say both IT and IIM both taught me a lot. And outside world is like, so once you get out in the outside world, another thing which comes in is you have everyone for himself, right? So at during college we are like, can't wait to earn money and spend and drink as much as I want and go out party every night. But once you get out in the outside world, you figure out that there are so many things which are tying you down, that the earlier days, college days, when you didn't have to stress about anything, the money or anything at all, those were the best times. So let's say outside world is also, so these places, especially in IT or an IM, they prepare you really well for the outside world because they help you hone your skills and your personality a lot more. So one final thing which I would like to say to all the viewers and listeners is, use this time to explore your true identity. Don't do why something with someone because someone else is doing it. Explore what you really like. Okay, try to watch. If you see, either if you like reading, that's good. If you don't like reading, try to watch videos. Try to watch informational videos. Like I used to love psychology. I even love psychology now. But I figured out that what I exactly love is a field of psychology, which not a psychology, but it's like behavioral economics, behavioral sciences. So I was able to figure this out by just exploring more and more, and by just going through more and more articles, more and more videos. So try to explore what exactly is it that you like, and also network well, and also use the time well. That is for sure. Like, use it in something constructive. Like, I used to go to like, for the past decade or so, I've been working out for almost every day, at least 6 days a week. Or if you leave out of couple of months, I've been working out, and that is true from the IT days to the IM days to the post IM working days. So what I'm saying is, try to stick to a routine if you can't, but stick to at least one thing which you can do on a regular basis. It can be anything. reading, writing, working out, but just stick to something. Yeah.
So that was some amazing insights, and I think we can end the interview there. Thank you for being on this show and
Thanks a lot,
for
man.
making
Thanks a
it
lot
so
for
great.
having me.
Definitely,
Thanks a lot.
definitely. So yes, yes, thank you. That is all.
Thanks a lot for having me. Thanks a lot.